Back to another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G. Today we're gonna react to some more Michael Jackson Prince content. This is gonna be a part 3. We're gonna react to Michael Jackson versus Prince. What happened? Let's get right into the video. To start off, was that supposed to be like a diss? Because Diamonds and Pearls, I think that's a Prince song, right?
There was never like any rivalry between you and
I've seen this before.
Mr. Jackson.
Not to me, no.
Okay. So I love the story of you. You know, there's all these Prince. I'm sorry. That's the guy you used to be. There's the story of you turning down Bad.
Well, you know, that Wesley Snipes character,
Right.
that would have been me.
Voice is getting higher. I ain't never had my nose done. Look out.
I think they actually had beef because that's kind of like listening to those songs. I feel like they were sending shots at each other.
Michael Jackson grew up in Gary, Indiana, in a house of 10 children. In 1964, Michael joined the group called the Jackson Brothers, along with his brothers Jackie, Tito, Jermaine,
You mean Jackson 5?
and Marlon. The group was managed by their father, Joe Jackson. After signing a record deal with Steel Town Records in 1967, they released their first 2 singles before leaving the label to sign with Motown Records in 1968. The Jackson 5 would go on to be very successful. They were the first group to debut with 4 consecutive #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. On January 24th, 1972, at just 14
And he know his history though. Hey, he know his history. He's saying a lot about his biography information. So
years old, Michael Jackson dropped his debut solo album, Got to Be There. The album would peak at number 14 on the Billboard and would go on to sell 750,000 copies within the first 3 weeks of its release. Michael would release a couple of more solo albums throughout the 70s, like Ben in that same year of 1972, Music in Me in 73, and Forever Michael in 75. That same year, in 1975, the group left Motown and signed with Epic Records.
I don't know. It's something about their attires. It's just really flamboyant, really colorful. You know, like Michael Jackson really had really good attires. Jackson 5, they had really good attires. Their style was really cool.
Where they would rename themselves to the Jacksons. Their younger brother Randy joined the group as Jermaine left and stayed with Motown to pursue a solo career. The Jacksons would
It's not. Yeah, Jermaine Jackson, he had left the group too, and I know they had some controversy. Them brothers, the Jackson 5.
tour internationally and put out more albums. In the late 70s is when Michael Jackson would have his major breakthrough. In 1977, Michael moved to New York City to star as the Scarecrow in the musical film The Wiz. Michael would appear on the soundtrack for the movie several times, to which the soundtrack was produced by legendary producer Quincy Jones.
Rest in peace.
While working on the soundtrack, Michael would ask Quincy to recommend some producers for his upcoming solo album. Michael was looking to change his sound now that he was an adult, and Jones would offer to produce the record himself. And this is when the two would create magic. On August 10th, 1979, Michael Jackson released his 5th studio album and first album as an adult, Off the Wall, produced by Quincy Jones.
This feels like his actual solo album. You know what I mean? His first.
This will be Michael's breakout album with chart-topping singles like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You. The album would sell roughly 107,000 copies in the first
People also put this as their favorite Michael album.
week, debuting at number 3 on the Billboard. Michael wasn't really satisfied and felt that Off the Wall deserved a bigger reception. During this time, another musician who was on the cusp of stardom went by the name of Prince, hailing from Minneapolis, Minnesota. In 1975, Prince would become a part of the band 94 East. After recording a demo tape in 1977, Prince signed to Warner Brothers Records. Prince was given creative control for 3 albums and retained publishing rights. Prince left Minneapolis and headed to California to record his debut album. On April 7, 1978, Prince dropped his debut album, For You. The album ended up peaking at number 163 on the Billboard 200. The album did have the track Soft and Wet, which peaked at number 92 on the Billboard Hot 100. Prince followed up with his second self-titled album, Prince, on October 19th, 1979. The album performed way better than his debut, peaking at...
I know, like, when it comes to Prince's discography, I know most of the songs on Purple Rain. That's really the only album I really know. I know another song is called SMF. Y'all probably, Prince fans know what song I'm talking about. I don't want to say it, because, I don't want to cuss on the channel. But yeah. And then I know, is there another song? Oh yeah, there's another song called Kiss. There's another song, I think 1999. That's not even on Purple Rain. That's on another album, I think, right?
At number 22 on the Billboard. In the 1980s, both Michael Jackson and Prince would become superstars around the same time. Prince kicked off the new decade, dropping his third album, Dirty Mind, on October 8th, 1980. Then he followed up the next year with his album, Controversy, on October 14th, 1981. Prince came back again the next year with his fifth album, 1999, on October 27th, 1982, and this would be his breakout album, becoming his first top 10 album, charting at number 9 upon its release. The song Delirious peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Little Red Corvette peaked at number 6, becoming Prince's highest charting song at the time. As Prince was bubbling, Michael Jackson hadn't dropped an album in a couple of years at this point, but
And once Michael dropped that, what was it, Thriller or Bad? Once he dropped Thriller, Prince was like, look, I need to do something. And he starts filming in Purple Rain. He probably about to get into that too.
Was about to take over the world. On November 29th, 1982, Michael Jackson released his sixth album, Thriller, which would catapult Jackson into a global phenomenon, with all 7 singles from the album reaching the top 10 charts on the Billboard, setting a record for the most top 10 singles from an album, and had 2 #1 hits with Beat It and Billie Jean, which is just insane. The album would go on to be the highest selling musical album in history and cemented Michael Jackson as the king of pop and the biggest musical act to ever live. After this is when the beef between Michael Jackson and Prince would officially begin. But how did it start? After releasing their smash albums in late 1982, the media were quick to begin comparing both MJ and Prince. Michael Jackson didn't like these comparisons. In the summer of '83 is when the beef would get heated. On August 20th, 1983, James Brown had a concert at the Beverly Theater in LA. Michael Jackson and Prince were actually both in attendance. James Brown would invite Michael on stage as the two performed together. Now, according to Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson whispered to James
Yeah, they had a exchange of words.
Brown, quote, "Call Prince up, I dare him to follow me." James Brown responded saying, "What?" To which MJ whispered again, and Brown responded, "Who?" After Jackson's third attempt, Brown stepped to the mic and told the crowd that someone named Prince would be joining them on stage.
He didn't want to get on the stage.
Prince then hopped on stage and performed. After his performance, Prince leaned against a prop lamppost and fell into the crowd,
2 of the greats on the stage at the same time.
bringing the lamppost with him. This whole thing would be caught on camera.
Wait, did he embarrass himself? Wait, no, I did. I think they talked about this in one of the videos. Was it part 2? Could have been another Prince video I did.
Michael Jackson would recall this during an interview while working on his 1988 memoir, Moonwalk, saying, "He made a fool of himself. He was a joke. People were running and screaming. I was embarrassed. It was all on video." Rumor has it that Michael actually bought this footage so how it made the rounds on the internet is interesting to me. Now, according to Quincy Jones, in an interview with GQ, quote, Prince told Michael he'd kill him if he showed it to anybody. According to Quincy Jones, Prince actually waited for MJ while in his limo with intentions to run over Michael Jackson. Quincy
Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
Jones said, quote, he knew, Michael knows he was there. He said that was his intention. After this is when the beef would officially begin. The next year, on February 28, 1984, the 26th annual Grammys were held at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. On this night, Michael Jackson would win 8 Grammys. Prince was at home watching.
Oh yeah, I know this is kind of off topic, but I mean it is on topic in a sense. But y'all ready for the Michael biopic? They're talking about delaying it to 2026, 2-part movie. We'll see.
Along with his drummer, Bobby Z, and reportedly said, quote, next year, that's gonna be us. Prince wanted to make a movie to go with his next album to top Michael Jackson and Thriller. Thriller lights the world on fire. It's not a video, it's a mini movie. Throw that gas on Prince's fire. A mini movie? MTV? This is mine. I'm taking this now. That's not acceptable that someone else has it. I'm going to make the full movie. It's gonna be a motion picture. Was it all to compete?
They say Purple Rain's not a good movie, but I actually enjoyed the movie. I can probably watch that a lot of times.
It wasn't just Michael. It was absolutely everyone, and Prince did it. He's starring in this movie. He's got the #1 album. He's got the #1 song. That summer, on June 25th, 1984, Prince dropped his 6th studio album, Purple Rain, which served as not only his 6th album, but the soundtrack to his upcoming movie called Purple Rain. This became Prince's first album to reach #1 on the Billboard, with his tracks When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy both reaching #1, and the song Purple Rain peaked at #2, and I Would Die For You peaking at #8. It seemed as if Prince was following through with his motivation to top Thriller, because just like Thriller, this album had 2 #1 songs as well. This would be Prince's commercial peak, and the album went on to sell 25 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums of all.
He did get a lot of like awards, I think awards or nominations for the album or the movie. So that did kind of benefit him in a sense also.
Time. The next month, on July 27th, 1984, the Purple Rain movie was theatrically released by Warner Bros. Pictures. The movie grossed $70.3 million to a $7.2 million budget. Publications and critics would name Purple Rain as one of the greatest musical films. Prince took Michael Jackson winning those Grammys personally and took over. The next year, in 1985, there would be another incident between Prince and MJ. On January 28, 1985, at the A&M Studios in LA, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote the track We Are the World as a charity single produced by Quincy Jones. They would bring out some of the most
What happened here? Let's see what happened.
notable names of that era, like Bruce Springsteen, Paul Simon, and more. Prince was invited to appear on the record, but would decline. He would offer to record a guitar solo, but Quincy Jones would reject it. Prince's engineer, Susan Rogers, was alongside Prince when he received the phone call from Quincy Jones. Quote, it was a long conversation, Prince said. Can I play a guitar on it? And they said no. Now it has been said that Prince did not participate in the recording sessions for We Are the World because he was discomforted by the sheer number of people involved. Prince had people pressuring him all night to attend the recording. Prince's manager, Bob Cavallo, said,
I think adding Prince to it would have been even more iconic. You know? What you guys think about that?
quote, at the American Music Awards, Prince keeps telling me the only thing he'll do is play guitar. So I call Quincy and he says, I don't need him to fucking play guitar. He got angry. Lionel Richie made a personal appeal to Prince, saying, quote, I sat on the phone with him for the longest time. I said, Prince, we're all down here waiting on you. I would love to tell you that that's different from anything else he's ever done. That's just Prince. Of course he's not going to be at a group of singers at the time when we want him to show up. Singer Sheila E., who was a longtime collaborator with Prince and was the opening act on Prince's Purple Rain tour the year prior, 1984, and an on and off girlfriend of Prince's, says she was invited to appear on We Are the World in what she believes was part of a scheme to coax Prince to get on the track. Quote, I was looking forward to singing on one of the verses, but they kept asking, well, do you think you can get Prince here? I'm like, wow, this is weird. And I just started feeling like I feel like I'm being used because they want Prince to show up, and the longer they keep me, maybe Prince will show up. That night at the 12th Annual American Music Awards in LA, Prince would show up and win 3 AMAs. And
I think I've seen this performance. This was the Purple Rain performance, and I think like the mic. Did he kick the mic down and pick it back up? I don't remember. I've seen this performance though.
Performed Purple Rain, which will be regarded as one of the most legendary.
I want to buy.
Come on, we have an ad. It's cool though.
Sets performed at an award show. People say that this was Prince's way of telling Michael Jackson that he's the guy now. On March 7th, 1985, We Are the World would officially be released, raising more than $80 million for humanitarian aid in Africa and the US. After this, another incident occurred. This time, things may have gotten physical between the two. Sometime during late 1985 or early 1986, Prince and Michael Jackson reunited at the Samuel Goldwyn Studio in West Hollywood. Prince was finishing up the soundtrack for his...
I've never like watched this full movie. The only films I've seen by Prince, there's only 3. This one, Graffiti Bridge, Purple Rain. I've seen Purple Rain, I've seen Graffiti Bridge. I don't think I've like seen the whole thing, but I've seen most of it. I gotta like really sit down and watch every scene.
Upcoming film Under the Cherry Moon. Michael Jackson would show up at the studio with 2 bodyguards. The two would talk before Prince challenged Michael to a game of ping pong. Michael accepts the challenge and loses to Prince multiple times. Prince's then girlfriend allegedly walked in, so Michael was allegedly flirting with her. Now there's 2 sides of this story because some say Prince decided not to get involved. Another side claims that Prince actually slammed the ping pong ball into MJ's crotch, causing MJ to put down the paddles and leave. Prince went on record saying, quote, he played like Helen Keller. During this time, Michael Jackson was recording his...
They can't be around each other, man, because they're gonna get into it.
next album titled Bad. In the summer of 1986, Prince was actually called to appear on the self-titled track Bad. Quincy Jones arranged a meeting at MJ's Havenhurst estate in California to discuss the duet of Michael and Prince on Bad. Quote, so we invited Prince over to Michael's house at Havenhurst. He came in and he had an overcoat on, and he had a big white box labeled Camille. He called Michael Camille. Prince, it seems, had bought a gift for his host. The box had all kind of stuff, some cufflinks with Tootsie Rolls on them. Michael was scared to death. He thought there was some voodoo in there. I wanted to take it because I knew Michael was going to throw it away. What happened to it? He threw it away. In the garbage. How did the conversation about doing the song together go? Well, we sat at a table that held 24 people at his house. Family table. I said, Michael, Smelly, you sit over there so he doesn't feel like we're ganging up on him. It started off funny. Michael said, I never been to Minneapolis. Prince said, snapping angrily, it's Minneapolis. Oh God, man, this is not going too well. Then Janet went by. Prince said, relax your lips, girl. And it was not going well, that's for sure. Then we went upstairs, and he saw the chimpanzee and the snake. He said, now that's interesting. And then he says to me, he doesn't need me on this. It's going to be a hit anyway, which is true.
So pretty much they done had so many encounters with each other, talking to each other and stuff, like maybe about business, I don't know, working with each other with music, and then all of a sudden they just get into something, I don't know, an argument.
According to Sheila E., Prince brought the track to Paisley Park in Minnesota, and she said, quote, so we get the song Bad from Michael Jackson, and we hear at Paisley Park. And Prince is like, wait a minute. He said, Michael wants me to sing this song with him? So he played it for us. He goes, your butt is mine. He said, what? Your butt is mine? And he just walked away. He said, Prince would re-record the demo, altering it, but would back out of the record due to the opening line of Michael Jackson saying, your butt is mine. So Prince turned it down due to that one line on the song, and he would end up speaking on the situation later down the line in 1997 during an interview with Chris Rock.
This is the story of you turning down Bad?
Well, you know, that Wesley Snipes character, that would have been me. All right, now you run that video in your mind. First line of that song is "Your butt is mine." Now I said, who gonna sing that to whom? Cause you sure ain't singing it to me, and I sure ain't singing it to you. So, right there we got a problem.
Prince would also go on to say, quote, Michael Jackson's album was only called Bad because there wasn't enough room on the sleeve for Pathetic. Fast forward to August 31st, 1987, Michael Jackson dropped his 7th album, Bad. The album would of course be massively...
He did not drop no dang bad album in no 1997. I thought he... Come on. Was it really 19? Nah.
successful, selling over 2.25 million copies in the first week, reaching #1 on the Billboard, becoming the fastest selling album in US history at the time. In the music video for Bad, Prince was seemingly replaced with Wesley Snipes. Prince never commented publicly about the album, but allegedly told people around him that it isn't as good as his own work. After the release of Bad, Michael was working on his memoir, Moonwalk, and during an interview, Michael allegedly made some comments about Prince and the frequent comparisons they would get. Quote, I don't like to be compared to Prince at all. I have proven myself since I was real little. He feels like he's my opponent. I hope he changes because, boy, he's gonna get hurt. He was so rude. One of the rudest people I have ever met. Prince is very competitive. He has been
I have heard about this statement, I think in another video that I've reacted to.
very mean and nasty to my family. Fast forward to October 31st, 1992, Prince dropped his album Love Symbol. On the track My Name is Prince, it's speculated
It's just being mean to everybody.
that he threw shots at Michael Jackson, referencing how people called MJ the king of pop, saying that he doesn't want to be king. On the fourth verse, performed by Tony M, it's speculated that he threw more shots at Michael Jackson, basically putting Prince above MJ musically.
You must become a prince before you're king anyway.
In February of 1997, Prince did an interview with Chris Rock. He was asked if he ever had beef with Michael Jackson. This is what he had to say.
There was never like any rivalry between you and Mr. Jackson?
Not to me, no.
That's, okay. So I love the story of you, you know, just all these Prince, I'm sorry. That's the guy you used to be.
That same year, Prince was asked who would win in a fist fight between him and Michael Jackson.
Hypothetically, who would win in a fist fight, you or Michael Jackson? You're both roughly, the same size. You have both have the high-pitched sound. What do your right hooks like? Oh my goodness.
He's a plant, y'all. But I plant him. Keep it light, keep it light.
How about this?
Michael's not a fighter, he's a lover.
Okay, I think I remember that too. I don't know.
Fast forward to October 30th, 2001. Michael Jackson released his final album while he was alive called Invincible. On the self-titled
Which has my favorite song, You Rock My World. You guys know Dangerous World. Dangerous is my favorite album, but You Rock My World or Invincible, that's my favorite song.
track, Michael sent subliminal shots back at Prince when he seems to be talking to a mutual lover between the two, mentioning how Prince says he will treat her well and take her across the world. Then MJ directly name drops Prince's album and song that's titled Diamonds and Pearls, and throughout this he's uttering that Prince can't do any of those things like him. Basically painting the picture that he could do whatever Prince does, but better. Prince heard this, so he decided to respond on March 27th, 2004. Prince dropped his
I did not even really know all of this. What in the world?
album Musicology. On this album is a track called Life O' the Party. On this track, Prince would diss Michael Jackson, making fun of his multiple nose jobs and high-pitched voice, because it was rumored that Michael got a nose job to help hit higher notes.
My voice is getting higher. I never had my nose done. Look out.
In 2006, Prince was performing in Vegas, and Michael was allegedly then invited to the show along with will.i.am of the Black Eyed Peas. According to will.i.am, Prince spotted MJ, so he got off the stage and played the bass in MJ's face, taunting him.
I remember this fact also.
The next morning, Michael allegedly asked will.i.am, quote, "Why was Prince playing the bass in my face?" He then suggested that Prince was just being nice, but Michael allegedly said, "No, he's always been a meanie." After this, nothing else happened, and unfortunately, on June 25th, 2009, Michael Jackson ended up passing away at 50 years old.
Rest in peace.
Author Tavis Smiley would later reveal Prince's alleged reaction to Michael's death. Quote, "I've never said it publicly. When the news came out that Michael had died, Prince was in rehearsal at Paisley Park. Prince cancels rehearsals, sent the band home, and for days locked himself in his bedroom and wouldn't come out, and really didn't talk to people." Following his death, Prince would pay tribute to Michael Jackson while performing several times. Unfortunately for Prince, he would also end up...
Rest in peace to Prince too. Rest in peace to Michael. Rest in peace to Prince. I like them both, but Michael's my favorite. I enjoy both artists though.
Passing away on April 21st, 2016 at the age of 57 years old. That's the conclusion of Michael Jackson versus Prince. Alright, that was Michael Jackson versus Prince. What happened? Subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming, stay tuned, and yeah, Uriah out.